Hey guys, Darren Sassienie here. Hope you are doing well. It is going to be an amazing day. DAILYDAZ I've just started. So my comments, thoughts, tips and advice, and just stuff I've learned over the last 24 years of successfully helping businesses grow, I'm going to share with you. So today I'm going to talk to you about what it was like to be on Dragon's Den and an audience of over 4 million. For anyone watching in Europe or in the States, Canada or anywhere else, then you might not have heard of Dragon's Den. You may have heard of Shark Tank. It's basically the UK equivalent. So what was it like being on Dragon's Den? Overall, the experience was absolutely incredible. Absolutely loved every minute of it. And here's how it all happened. So 7 years ago now, Holly and I decided to apply to be on the program. We passed a series of around 4 interviews that consisted of phone interviews, and then they wanted us to submit a load of stuff to make sure that we were legit. And then they invited us up to BBC Centre in the centre of London to go and pitch to them as if we were on the show. So we had to prepare a pitch that I believe was 2 to 3 minutes long. So Holly and I wrote really good pitch, and we practiced till the cows came home, and we're really excited. It took us an hour to get up to BBC London Centre and the BBC Television Centre, and we walked in, we said hi, and they said, right, stand on that spot, we're going to film you. And we said, okay, cool. So we did it, literally 3 minutes of our pitch, nailed it first time, and there were about 5 people in the room, and they went, whoa, wow. And we went, what? Was that okay? She said, yeah, but no one ever does it like that good. No one ever does it first time either. That's kind of it. I don't want to waste your time, but that's all you needed to do. And it's like, okay, well, we've travelled an hour. Do you want us to do it again? Like, might not be as good, but might be. Happy to do it another 2-3 times while we're here. So yeah, well, might as well. So we did that, and essentially those tapes got sent off to the executive producers of the show, and that led to us being on the programme. So what was it like being on the programme? Well, funnily enough, just before we got on the programme, we had to write down how much money we wanted to ask for. Now, we wanted £250,000 because we worked out specifically that was exactly what we needed. We were early stage business. That's what we needed to grow our team a little, to get some systems and processes in place. But most of that money was going to be spent on marketing and customer acquisition, because a year prior to that, we'd spent that year doing all the research, doing all the due diligence, getting the foundations of our business so that we were in place, so that we were fully ready to launch. So we said, yeah, we need 250,000. And they came back to us and they said, look, really want you on the show, but no one ever gets 250,000. No one ever really asks for it. Would you mind asking for less? So we had our business plan, we had our financial forecast. We said, okay, well, how much do you want us to ask for? So they said, would you mind asking for less? Like, I don't know, 70 grand, something like that. So we went, okay, but that's not in line with all our business forecasts and everything else. So yeah, but you know, we want to get you on the show. So we wanted to be on the show as well. So we said, okay, yep, let's do it. So it was quite weird because we knew deep down we needed 250k anyway, but we went along with it. So what was it like being on the show and filming it? So the show is filmed up in Manchester, Media City, and we went up the night before and stayed in a hotel about 5 minutes from Media City. Now, on the programme was Holly, myself, and my dad. My dad was working. He's got other projects, other businesses that he runs successfully. So Holly and I went up on our own, and we practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced some more. And we wrote out a list of questions that we might be asked, and we wrote out answers accordingly. And then my dad came up in the evening, and we didn't get very much sleep. The adrenaline was running very high, and I think eventually we got to sleep at about 2 o'clock, and the next day at I think 4:30 in the morning they came to pick us up to take us to Media City. So we went along and we got assigned a chaperone, someone that was in charge of us, someone that would make sure that we didn't go wandering off, someone would make sure that we didn't go talking to the dragons if we saw them, you know, on a toilet mission or anything like that, and try and give them some inside information. So they didn't want any of that. So we got put into a green room with all the other participants. Quite funny, actually. We shared a taxi with a guy that was on it, and he, you know, we were discussing, how did you get here? What are you up to? Da, da, da. And he said, oh, I was in the pub one night with my friends, and we got absolutely plastered. We got so drunk, and we thought it'd be funny to fill out a form for Dragon's Den while we were all sitting in the pub together. He said we didn't have an idea, we didn't know what we were doing, didn't have anything, and here I am. So I thought that was quite amusing. And anyway, so we're in this green room, and it all gets explained to us, and they say, look, we're going to go out and we're going to film the lift shots first, everyone together. So the lift is a set, sorry to disappoint anyone, but you essentially walk into a set, and you know, you're kind of looking around like this, pretending you're in a lift, pretending it's moving, but it's not really. And then everybody goes back to the green room, and you spend a bit of time with the producers talking about your setup, and then you essentially get called on at any time. So they can just come and grab you. You don't know when you're on. You don't have any kind of schedule. So very, very early start. And depending on how good or not you are, you will get 20 minutes to 2 hours in the den. So I found it all really interesting. My background is I've worked for the world's leading corporate video production company. So there I've built teams of 150 people. I've traveled the world to 18 countries producing films. So the cameras and the equipment and everything is very, very familiar with me. Not so much Holly, so she was a bit more nervous, kept going to the toilet quite a lot. And so yeah, we're in the green room and we're seeing, you know, every so often they come and they go, right, you come with me, and you're on. So that moment finally happened for us. And we walked on to the set, and the dragons are there. They're pretty close to us. At that time it was Peter Jones, Deborah Meaden, Kelly Hoppen, Piers Linney, Duncan Bannatyne. And quite funny, you're not allowed to talk for the first minute or so while they're setting everything up. You've got a bunch of people watching you, you've got all the crew, and then you've got people in another room who are in the gallery where they're watching you as well. So pitch starts, we get into it, just literally standing there beforehand, can't say anything to dragons, just looking at each other, a little bit awkward, waiting for the sound, everything to be ready. Producer says action, and you go, you're into it. If you mess up your pitch, you mess it up, tough luck. So remember I said you get 20 minutes to 2 hours depending on how the thing goes and evolves. We spent an hour in there, and it was a bunch of fun. We had a real laugh with Duncan Bannatyne and some of the others. But what happened was, by the end of it, Deborah Meaden turned around and said, look, I think you guys are absolutely brilliant. I think you're onto something really smart here. You know what you're doing with marketing. You've got good business knowledge. My only reason for not investing is because I think you need £250,000 for customer acquisition and marketing. And I want to keep this under 10 minutes. There's a lot more to tell, but I will leave it there.